and taking you out. He's a Duffy here, going crazy.
From tunnel. Mossman, though, reads that, and we have the last two players of Niners on that ticket stop.
As Toxic holds hands, they're both going to find picks.
On the massive.
Here, can he find member coming through here? Yes, he can. Another one coming through. Stevo doesn't know it. He's gonna, he does. He's going to go around for the flank.
As Mossman now just left alone. Relic needs to find two here. Relic does find two. Now he's hold here.
Vitaly, you could physically see the communication on that last play. The of a communicative squad, and look as they hold down this point. Toxic and Relic working into. What a rotate by them at the end. I did not see that coming.
I was not expecting them to rotate on that PT. I wasn't even looking at the minimap on the bottom left, to be honest, but
alive, Vitaly.
Yeah, that was a big round, and Veracity being able to pick up that final kill, helping out Bells.
Wow.
I also pushed up outside of that cafe as Stevo trying to break through.
He was able to beat that alley. Squad just not able to react in time to the player actually being there. I believe it was Duffy who was able to win that 1v1.
Yep. And when you get to these rounds, it's something that you really needed. Stevo is just trying to get some information as Toxic and Bells swings through, but Stevo is on a massive flank. He's gonna get one. Oh! He's
players alive. Niners gonna have to. Mossman gonna find the right battalion. I mean, as soon as he knew that Duffy was there, he was immediately taken out. And really good.
Is trying to get aggressive and is trying to get this pick.
Into a 2v1, but is able to find this flank. But Smiley gonna find that angle
and play their life. Duffy though is also good high vantage point here. Sees him and is trying to get that final pick.
Smiley, that was going to be a sure pick for Toxic. So great reactions there from Smiley, but thankfully Mossman here has all the intel in.
I think they're going to try and hit something out fast as they smoke mid. And Stevo's getting aggressive. I love it. Smiley has actually an incredible time of being able to play this PvD, and Smiley is good for there. Yeah.
But Relic was able to get the intel here. I know if Relic died here, Mossman was swinging right out.
Yeah, He's trying to potentially rotate.
I was gonna ask if that was intentional, because that would have been crazy.
That would have been crazy. And Stevo,
huge play. Let's see that one again. Yeah, just finds the head of Veracity there. Absolutely beautiful there.
Need to take a breather on that one. Stevo absolutely going massive here on that last play. He reads the pinch, and Stevo trying to just kill him off of this site here. Maybe
it can last much longer. I mean, only 10 lives taken, I believe, in total from both squads. So great stuff from UNCC.
It does drop, and Toxic is able to pick that up. Not able to get a kill though, and Toxic does go down from Smiley, but the B-site is...
Yeah, Mossman gonna duck under that stone wall, gonna cap off that B-site. Can they push this A-site? They need to get on it soon.
Relic go big.
Oh, Relic
go big. Relic go big.
Going big. They look so good, and the Niners, I believe, found 3 like that. I mean, so good from the Niners.
Looking to try and just push towards the street side as Relic is able to pick up on that, get that massive first pick. Potentially a second. Relic
push through that A site. Stevo gonna try and take on this 1v1 here. Ability from Stevo, but Duffy does find him eventually.
Does read that as Relic. Has to pick this up. Mossman, good for one. Is playing alive, playing perfectly. Does get a little bit of time, and they get the trade. Huge trade.
They got on it, and Shenandoah was able to win the gunfights that got them the game. You can see Toxic here with a huge pinch. I would venture a few members. Bells has been looking fantastic this whole series, 18 and 13, and just holding down these points as they take down Relic. 4 seconds left to capture this A site. They know someone's on it. Can Mossman find to pick these up?
They just need to stay alive. I don't think they have any trophies as well. They're Callie the backside.
There, but Bells and Smiley able to reverse momentum.
Toxic go big. Toxic go big.
Of duty right now.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. I mean, Toxic was able to get those massive 2 picks. Unfortunately, though, everybody was respawning of Veracities and Bells getting a big trade as Mossman trying to get control of this dark and P2 situation. And I lied. We're flipping it back to the shy Shenandoah. Toxic able to get one on Duffy. One more pick from Duffy, and they have a cruise. As Stevo able to get control, gets it back. We see Relic is potentially going to get this pick on the Bells. Stevo gets up this massive pick from Toxic, and now they have control of this site.
Really strong from Shenandoah. I love this money from Shenandoah. Still 30 more seconds to gain some points.
And Bells also looking to secure this initial time.
Find Toxic. Can they win the 2v2 here? This is going to be a massive bout from Mossman. Just keep on going.
And Toxic able to get that massive pick, and they break through. Toxic.
This next point and have the lead. This is a great spot for them. But Bells and Veracity.
Huge victory. But Steve-O needs to stay alive here and just play patient. Series win.
The pressure is mounting for Shenandoah. The Niners can cap this point.
Two pick.
Those going to be disappointed with this loss, and I understand, right? It's such great play coming out from both sides.
See that Humber is looking to try and pinch as Mark gets one and Mossman is able to get the.
However, we'll answer back. Humber College getting 3 in a row there in favor of Steve-O. Last man standing here. Gets 2 at that window there, but looks away just at the wrong time. Steve-O will answer back that trade. However, Charisma dropping.
Huge trade, and just like that, Lurgan able to get a pick for that trade. Steve-O though.
25 seconds and ticking. Big numbers being put up here by Shenandoah.
Yeah, we're seeing the early rotates.
But Steve-O drops in the meantime. Lurgan getting 2 there. Mossman will be able to answer back as well as Toxic. Jumping off a swift manner. Toxic trying to get back on here to contest. Will he be able to find the kill? Ring around the Rosie. Whoa. Yes, he will be able to. Toxic getting Charisma, getting 2.
We see that pinch starting to activate for Bolt, and they do read it. Steve-O though, as we do see Steve-O looking to rotate early. He gets a massive cut off.
There for the rotations to come through for Shenandoah, getting first look onto that point, and really Humber College couldn't gain access.
And Lurgan is able to get a pick on Mossman.
Traded back.
Let's up in this middle area, and I don't think they didn't see him as Steve-O was able to get one and Toxic.
That Humber really wasn't expecting there. Steve-O and Relic kind of getting these tough angles to
on the side of Humber, and Charisma has that bomb, but Lurgan is just channeling some patience from Steve-O, trying to really force him towards Mossman's angle. I mean, Mossman played it beautifully, didn't really move from
coming up behind Charisma here in the elevator. Will be able to challenge success there against, I believe that was Lurgan there. Not Lurgan.
He does not crack under pressure, especially on this map, I've noticed, but very well done from Mossman.
B for Shenandoah.
And we get that trade as Toxic is able to pick that up. Relic though.
And when that came through, they were like, okay, we kind of know where they are setting up here. Let's push the agenda. Let's put the spawn side. Steve-O on the move, however, trying to find the bomb.
Had the play of his life, but luckily Relic was able to point that out and kind of make Mark look a little bit silly as
Mark again has to make something happen. The plant is coming through. Mark is going to actually
not wanting to let off the gas.
Yeah. I love the aggression coming from Shenandoah. They're pushing all and really not a whole lot happens to get Toxic. Look on the board for Shenandoah already, but no one really moving towards points. Moss, the gunfight swinging heavily in Shenandoah's favor.
Yeah, Moss able to get that massive pick as Toxic also.
No one really rotating over towards the A site. Bolt is sitting there. Toxic able to take out Lurgan in response.
Huge pick, but they also have 21 seconds left. Especially in a game of right control, you don't want to give them those picks, but you do want to try and keep up and hit stuff together. As Steve-O is able to get a massive
Lurgan goes down by the hands of Relic there, but rotations coming through Toxic.
And then let's try and just have somebody play, as we're getting off of that respawn. Let's go towards A. We see Mossman playing this nice little off angle, and he has a trophy set up, so if anyone's trying to stun or nade.
2 in response. Charisma getting Mossman there on the trade, but huge play coming from Steve-O now having the angle here, possibly getting Charisma, not just yet.
Oh my! You see Lurgan getting that pick. Steve-O though on the flank, able to read that, gets a set.
Yeah, I mean, Shenandoah really out of the gate. Mossman getting behind 2 now coming up the stairwell. Not able to finish off both switches.
Oh my god, how are you
getting it back though? Toxic falling on the side of Shenandoah, but Steve-O and Relic are just tearing through Humber's players.
I mean, we're looking at this stat sheet the same, right?
When people are on block, it's hard for an answer to really come people going towards A side for Shenandoah, but a pinch kind of coming through here. Steve-O Lurgan finds Toxic from Steve-O. Knows the angle that he's going to be holding. Steve-O and
spot that out. And they got that second hit.
Yeah, Steve-O and Lurgan just sitting there on that B side. Relic and Mossman finding 2 so they can find both here. Relic is able now for SU. I guess that's
I don't think he sees the guy right there. Does find the guy planting the bomb. Parlays it into his second. 1v3, looking for the clutch, looking for the last two. He's gonna find one. Another one gets it across.
Absolutely a must-makes because of the ease
An
of them.
easy what? The rest of his team is slowly collapsing. The Sombra is the last player alive, and Boydice with the clutch.
Ella gonna get the Nair, starting out the Nair train. Boy cannot get out of it. What are we gonna see? Forward air, then down air!
Taking some form of space outside the spawn door, but Dragonblade's gonna look to take it right back with a huge shatter.
Oh my god! Another pick! Another pick! Oh, he just keeps going! It's a big bang!
Hard point in the hand of the other team. Toxic tried to find one, finds a second. Does he get the third? He
Finishes
does!
off with the pistol!
The entire team in front of him, and he's gonna find
falling like
four!
dominoes.
The ace, actually!
Push all the way corner, and Gingy staying deep instead of going defensive like usual.
Oh my god, his kickoff probably was a 4-piece!
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Shenandoah University broadcast. Today we have NACE Call of Duty here against Texas A&M International team. Walk us through kind of what we expect to come through here and what kind of happened in the previous week.
Yeah, so in the previous week, we played in CCL, which is the matches we play on Mondays, and we played against UNCC, which we lost to. But then we also played another game, which was against Humber College, and we did beat them. So we were 1-1 for that. But now we're headed into this week with a clear mind. We got the NACE squad. We got Verdi, Toxic, Mossman, and Relic. They're playing right now, getting ready, getting warm. So I think this is going to be a fun series.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens here, Vitali. I am joined by Vitali also. Sorry about that. I completely forgot to introduce you at the top of the show here. But yeah, we're coming into this NACE Call of Duty match here against Texas A&M with Monday going against UCC and Humber College. There was some stiff competition, right? Both teams played very, very well. Humber College were able to come away with some big wins there. Are you expecting the momentum to kind of carry over from that win against Humber later in the day on Monday into this match coming up against Texas A&M?
I mean, hopefully. There's definitely been a little bit of time, in between that and today. So hopefully we're able to just take apart the good things that we did from, both games, both series, and really try to produce some more magic here today. We do have the maps ready to go, I believe, here for this 5 games. We're going through cams here right now, of course, seeing the team talking over what is going on and what their game plan going into this round here match against Texas A&M. Everyone looking happy, looking energized, and looking ready to go. Yeah, they have just a ton of spirit today. I mean, this is also 1 week away from a LAN event that we're getting ready to participate in, known as Game Mason. So that's going to be held at George Mason University. Shout out to them for that. So they're just really getting ready for that, being able to take these last few matches for this week under their belt.
Yeah, Skid Row is the first map that we're going to be looking at. We're going to go over to Terminal and Karachi for Search and Destroy and Control here. Karachi back-to-back, and then the final Search and Destroy, if needed, for map number 5 is going to be High Rise. Excited to kind of see this mix of maps here, and I'm liking kind of what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, I love Skid Row Hardpoint for us. I feel like, again, that's one of those maps where we really are comfortable on, and we've been showing some pretty a lot of fast improvement. Terminal Search is a new one for me. We don't really play that much Terminal Search, at least from when we were being, back practicing and whatnot. But Terminal, I remember we were really trying to learn our Terminal Hardpoint, but then that got taken out. So now it's just Search. I feel like for the kind of gunplay and skill that we have, especially with the AR potential. You know, we're going to be looking at some really good stuff, and then going into that Karachi control. I mean, honestly, that can be anyone's game depending on how we rotate, who has those power positions, and, you know, all of that. So that's a fun one to see as well.
Yeah, definitely with this hard point, this is something that Shenandoah has been able to shine on in the past on this Skid Row hard point. The rotations seem to be down, especially holding that P2 Money Hill against with that tunnel and that garage there. Kind of being able to adjust to that and hold that, rotating that often before P1 even times out, right? Getting that first access to that point is huge for both teams, and that's something that Shenandoah has done very, very well.
I think that in addition to not only being able to hold that P2, but being able to get mixy, you know, trying to just get those cleanup kills, being in those off angles, trying to actually cut off the rotates are some of the things that we've been also improving on, especially on, you know, maps like Skid Row, maps on Invasion. I know we see a lot of that as well. So we really try and just incorporate everything from, you know, different maps to just, you know, how we play overall. So yeah, I think it's been looking really good.
Yeah, and with the team comp, or the players that we're playing today, we have Verdi, Toxic, Mossman, and Relic have all played together and have been playing together for a very long time here. Who do you expect to really kind of take this step and really lead in these shot calls with Steve-O not in the lineup today?
Sure. Mossman, honestly, I feel like is going to really step up, not in terms of play calling, but play making. He's been doing that really well this past Monday, being able to really, you know, put the team, you know, in a better position than most. So shout out to Mossman. Then we got Relic and Verdi, who both I think have a lot of really good ideas, and, you know, being able to really structure and move the team where we want them to move, right? And then we have Toxic, right, being able to just listen and follow, kind of taking everything and then, you know, make these kind of plays, right? Being able to hold these angles or trying to rotate early, because Toxic loves to rotate a little bit earlier than usual. So hopefully we get to see that as well, especially on a map like Skid Row.
Yeah, getting those early rotations from Toxic, often able to pick up some kills here and there on the backside, really preventing teams from trying to answer the rotation and really just cementing a Shenandoah to have a clean rotation onto that next site, onto that P2, the P3, whatever they are rotating to. And I'd expect Relic here to have a big game as well, top fragging possibly, but all members here really have the gun power to really come and get huge trades and really just kind of ruin a game for an enemy team.
For sure. I mean, they were warming up a lot prior to this, you know, just trying to get those reps in. I know they were in the training facility, just getting, you know, those bot kills up, trying to just stay warm, stay loose. Now they're, you know, I believe scrimming, so they're just trying to stay as warm as possible, you know, going into this. Yeah,
for sure. Staying warm is something that you don't really think about when it comes to games like Call of Duty and stuff like that, but being on your A game going into these matches is something that gets overlooked, right? If you're not in the right mindset, in the positive mindset going into these games, slip-ups can happen very easily with communication and really just overall just mechanics in the game, right? So making sure those are crisp, making sure the communication is there, Verdi on your screen, making sure he's locked in, everyone talking, communicating, kind of figuring out a game plan, what they're going to do coming up into this game versus Texas A&M. How do you expect Shenandoah to really play this Skid Row hard point from the very beginning?
Well, I know that Mossman loves to try and get control of that P2 early, which is a really great play. I mean, sometimes teams like to just full hit P1, which isn't a bad idea, try and get the most time that they can there, but really focusing and prioritizing that money hill, that 60 hill for P2 is crucial, right? So, I mean, I feel like Mossman has a lot of trust in his guys to, you know, contest as much as he can, or even take the lead going into that P2. And as long as he's there, being able to just secure, you know, a lot of that and being able to hold those rotates or angles, Mossman will get it done. So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely expect Mossman to kind of find those early rotations to that P2. And like you said, there's a lot of trust that Mossman has in his teammates, and vice versa, with his teammates having a lot of trust in him winning that rotation over to that P2, making sure that he's getting that first adjustment and that first access to that point. And that's all due to really just the team synergy that we have all around here with this squad for SU on Shenandoah's side. Yeah, everyone is just playing very well together and moving really as a unit, following calls, knowing what needs to be done. And if they lose gunfights, they're okay, right? Their mental stays steady. Everyone picks them back up, right back in it, nothing ever happened, and then they go play their game.
Right. Regaining is one of the biggest things that we like to talk about in COD, especially if, you know, there's a team who's either outslaying us or a team who is just being super dominant. It doesn't even have to be outslaying, but just being really dominant. So being able to regain, you know, mid-game is super important, but also being able to regain out of game is even more important. If you're not able to do that, it's going to be really hard to try and pull it back.
Yeah. And really with the communication that we have on this side, it'll be interesting to see what players really step up here. Every player is really capable of getting high frags and really running away with the game here. Relic, Mossman, and Toxic are the three guys that I'd be looking at. Verdi, of course, is no pushover either, right? He is able to get huge picks when needed, and just being that extra body there to really support those three players, and really just a reliable anchor for this team to really get picks and get trades when needed. Mossman goes down, Verdi often finds 2 in response, and that's something that you see kind of across the board on this team. A lot of support coming through. If someone goes down, trades will come back most likely by all 3 members trying to regain that momentum back in their favor.
Right, and something that you brought up about trading, we have the lineup going to be basically Relic and Verdi on the sub role, with, I believe, Verdi being able to flex depending on, you know, where and what hill they're playing on. But those 2 guys, you know, they are super solid when it comes to trading each other out, you know, playing together. And Mossman also, again, and Toxic being able to pick up on that and try to just get the rest of the kills is just super, it's a recipe for success.
Yeah, definitely a recipe for success on the side of SU here. A tough task coming in to Texas A&M, also a good team as well. But I think really SU's kind of riding that high off of Monday's win there. They had a tough game there against the Niners earlier in the day, but coming back against Humber College, having a really good showing there. Of course, Steve-O was playing in that match, but with Verdi coming in, the power is still there across all of the members here on SU. And I'd expect to see a pretty big game from them. How do you think they're going to really be approaching to really get these kills, get these trades? Are they going to stay grouped? Are they going to split up? What do you expect?
Realistically, I'm going to expect them to kind of split up and play their game.
Yep.
And that's not necessarily too bad of a thing, especially if you're confident, if you're feeling good. You know, sometimes you just need to keep going and riding that kind of high. But for the most part, what I would like to see and what I hope everyone on the team can strive for is just to be able to play together, being able to get those trades where they can, rotating together. Again, we can have those big plays where somebody can, you know, branch off of the group, but as long as everyone's coordinated, hitting everything together, again, I think that'll be where our bread and butter is for today. Yeah, the coordination, of course, is something that you don't really think about on Call of Duty. You think like, oh, I'm just going to run and gun, figure it out, see if I can get these kills here and there. But there's 4 people on a team, right? It can't just be one person picking up all of the weight, especially in a fast-paced game like this. Everyone kind of pulls their weight, and I think that's high advantage that SU has with all these players playing together. As long as they have that team cohesion and the trust amongst their own really teammates with each other, really, that if someone does want to go off 1 on 3 on 2 or something, they'll be like, okay, go try it, see what happens, and if not, we can regroup and find another strategy to get back into this game. Right. Having that just having that mental clarity, being able to really just play again as that team is something that we're going to see a lot of, hopefully. So, again, we're just hoping for a really good start. That's where, if we're not able to start fast, it's really hard for us to get back on that ball, right? It's hard for us to get that ball rolling if we haven't already started it. So if we can do that, then, you know, I'm not too worried. But again, that's one of our biggest weaknesses, I feel like, is if we're not able to really start off strong, or if we're feeling, you know, like we just have zero control of anything, it can get really tough. Yeah, and that's where it comes on the players really getting that team morale up, right? Boosting each other's confidence. Even if you get 1 kill here and there, being like, hey, good job, good kill, good pickup, that really elevates like your positive mentality coming into these matches and these gunfights, and that really allows you to go further and go the extra mile to really pick up and kind of start clutching up these points on the side of your team here. And let's look at these maps one more time and kind of walk through what we're looking at on each side here. I know we're starting with Skid Row here on Hardpoint, but tell us a little about Terminal and Karachi here for Search and Destroy and Control. Yeah, so for Terminal, it's very long-range engagements, I mean, for the most part. Once you start getting closer towards the B-bomb and actually A-bomb as well, it gets really, really close quarters. So being able to kind of hold those angles, stay in those corners is something that'll benefit the attacking team. But for the most part, it can be a very tough break if you're not playing it right. And one of the big ways you can break is using a smoke. So being able to use that and think about that early on, especially in those maybe first 2 rounds, right, where the enemy teams or the teams don't have any trophies, you can look to take some space or look to, again, get aggressive, whether attacking or defending, with a smoke like that, and then just maybe play for a trade. So that's how essentially Terminal will, at least in my head, will play out. And that's going to be very trade heavy. So if you're not able to get that one, or just pick up that one, it's going to be really hard to try and break, especially if you're attacking, right? So then on Control, the A site is going to be where a lot of teams initially go, and it's definitely not a bad play. It's a really, really good play, because if you can do that, then the only thing you have to worry about is that B site, which if you have a really good break and you're able to get at least 2 to 3 kills, while you're breaking that B site, as long as you guys stack and you have a trophy available, you can basically clean it up for the rest of the time, because essentially they're going to be going through very narrow choke points. There's a dumpster alley that you have to jump above. There's a long alley that you have to go through, and it's just really hard to try and get any kills, especially when everybody's looking in those general directions.
Yeah, definitely a rotation game when it comes to Control. Getting those early picks, getting that prio onto these points, being able to get these early ticks is something that both sides are going to look for on the attacking side. But of course, on the defending side, you kind of want to split up and kind of try to hold these angles, get these picks here and there. We are now flying through Skid Row here, about to jump into map number 1 here between Shenandoah and Texas A&M International. Interesting. It's going to be interesting what we are going to see coming out from both sides here, how they are going to approach this P1. What do you expect to come out from both sides?
Yeah, I mean, one thing I actually wanted to bring up was that, Texas A&M International, we played against them in a scrim a while ago, and we realized that this team definitely means business. So being able to, again, have that prior knowledge, being able to understand how these teams play will help not only us, but also them, of course, right? So they know how we play, we know how they play, but being able to have that kind of understanding is something that we're going to be hopefully picking up on as we do see both Relic and Verdi, like I was talking about, trying to push through these P3 doors.
Yeah, an early pickup there by Toxic. Great Folks is going to be able to pick up Mossman on the backside of this, but really Relic in a great position to answer back. Gets 2 of his own. A great first 2 picks there for Shenandoah, having that first access to this site, gaining control over P1 already.
Right, and as you see, actually, Texas A&M is already set up towards this P2 area, so we're going to really look to try and get as much as we can on this P1. We're able to take out Melsky, and now we're just looking to try and rotate.
Yeah, the rotation coming through early here, trying to get onto this P2 site, but Texas A&M already has that access. Shenandoah is going to have to try to break this, and really once you have this P2 kind of angle here, it's very hard to break it. Verdi trying to get aggressive, trying to pick something up. Mossman able to trade it back. Mossman getting 2 on his own. Bimpy answering back. Toxic dropping on the side of Shenandoah, but this P2 control is heavily in favor of Texas A&M right now. Mossman finding 1, able to regain control of this point, and now it's going to be hard for Texas A&M to re-enter this site.
Yeah, that was a wonderful break, and we have essentially about 40 seconds to hold this. So Texas A&M really have only 1 hit if they want to try and commit to it. But as we see Verdi and Toxic trying to just pick up the last few of these kills. Melsky does pick that up as Relic is able to get the trade, and Lotus able to get that trade on a Relic, and Mossman again being able to hold that fort down as we're now playing for this P3 hill.
Yeah, unable to break Mossman. They're off of that P2. Texas A&M opting to now rotate over to this P3 side, but Verdi picking up 2. Great Folks is going to be able to answer back with 1, but Relic, the trades are heavily in Shenandoah's favor here. They're going to have a good rotation over to this P3. Texas A&M getting good spawns, however, able to get back in position fast enough to be able to hold this P3 for a little bit longer, but Verdi and Toxic picking 1, a 2-for-2 trade on the side of Shenandoah. And really this contest still coming through. No points getting ticked up, but Texas A&M trying to make something happen. Verdi able to take down Melsky there at a 3v4 P4 situation,
Wow,
but Lotus
Lotus
able to drop to Relic, answering back, dropping Lotus. But right now, Shenandoah just getting pushed off of this point. As I say that, however, Verdi comes around the back, getting Bimpy there, and Texas A&M is forced out of P3.
Yeah, Verdi is already on a 6-kill streak, so he does have that cruise for potentially this P5 if they need it. But we do see Texas A&M already pushing up towards his P4, getting control of God Steps, getting control of Back Barber, and Verdi looking to really try and break through, is able to get one onto Bimpy. Now he just needs to play his life as they have really good control and good pressure towards this side of the map.
Yeah, a good rotation coming out from Shenandoah. Toxic and Verdi are able to pick some up on his own. Verdi possibly getting two there, taking out the pistol. Bimpy closing the doors there, but able to get the kill there. Mossman falling, Lotus getting Verdi there as well. Toxic trying to trade it back, but Texas A&M really winning out on these gunfights. Trades happening in their favor. Unable to access this P4 site for SU.
Yeah, Verdi being able to get two big picks. Now it's time for just either a big rotation off a spawn, or we're trying to hit this ult out, as we do see Texas A&M being able to pick up the rest of this time, and they're starting to rotate towards this tunnel.
Yeah, the rotation's coming through here. Melski and Great Folks having huge kills there. Verdi able to find one, find two of his own. He sees Lotus in the window, but unable to get that kill. Mossman trying to answer back, firing on Lotus across the map there by these crates, but unable to pick up anything. Relic getting Bimpy there, but Great Folks is able to answer back. Lotus as well, getting two for the side of Texas A&M. And again, first access here for Texas A&M.
Yeah, Mossman being able to stay up on that crate for a little bit, trying to get some shots in, as Verdi being able to pick up on Bimpy. But now we see that Texas A&M is able to control that. Oh, but Relic does break, able to get this time. Verdi being able to clean that up as well. Now we have a nice 35-ish second hold on this P5. Hopefully we can try and get a nice rotate, get some forward progression, but Grateful being able to use that cruise massively, as Bimpy being able to push through, trying to get as much time off for that Shenandoah side, and they're able to pick up basically 20.
Yeah, with those early picks there, Shenandoah able to move back onto that site, but A&M with a good response, they're able to take back the kind of lasting seconds there on that P5, and now resetting to P1. Shenandoah already getting this rotation. Relic picking up Lotus in the meantime. Verdi getting one as well. Good trades, good setups coming in early on this P1 site for Shenandoah.
Yeah, we already see that Texas A&M has decided to just leave one towards this P2 side, as the rest of their squad is looking to try and just break through this P1, trying to get some time or contest with a massive nade from Relic. And we're looking for one more guy here in window room, as Toxic able to clean that up.
Yeah, Shenandoah holding the angles that they need to. A huge nade coming through on the side of SU, getting that kill, stopping the push coming in from A&M. Toxic dropping the trophy down, laying prone in the middle of that site, just trying to deny entry here. Great Folks trying to make something happen, but Toxic able to clean him up on the backside. Full control over this P1. Bimpy and Lotus, however, dropping Mossman and Verdi, but Toxic trying to make something, looks away just at the wrong time. Great Folks able to get the pick there and get control for the last 10 seconds of this P1.
Yeah, I love the idea of that early rotation, as currently we see Relic underneath. He's just trying to play his life, as Verdi is trying to look and support this tunnel area. Bimpy is potentially getting timing though. Not aware of two. Bimpy does go down. Toxic and Mossman being able to pick up those kills, as Relic just needs to stay alive. One is on the bottom tin though. Relic is able to hear that comm, but Relic goes down. Mossman needs to go massive here to keep this hill alive.
Yeah, Mossman trying to find two here in tunnel. Verdi sliding in, getting some chip damage onto this team, but A&M just in the right position to get these kills. Mossman trading one back, now moving in to contest. Toxic able to get Great Folks off of the point here.
Wow.
Mossman trying to move in, but really Toxic is able to slide in there. Trophy is still set down, and right now just trying to get these last 20 seconds in favor of SU.
Yeah, I love the angle that Toxic is playing, and being able to pick up that kill. Verdi is able to secure basically the rest of those 15 seconds for the side of Shenandoah, and we already have two rotates, as Relic gets a massive two-piece to try and clear out this new hill, and Mossman being able to clean it up, and Shenandoah gets initial time.
Yeah, rotation already coming through from SU onto this P3. Verdi
Whoa,
finding
Verdi!
2 there. Huge pickups on the side of SU. And really, Texas A&M not really able to move into this area. Mossman finding
Mossman,
1, finding 2,
one more.
possibly 3. The reinforcements coming through from Toxic. Lotus will pick up Verdi in the meantime. Mossman knows he's on point, but they are able to get that kill. Relic coming up behind Lotus. Verdi trading back, trades back and forth. Great folks and Melski finding 2 of their own, but Mossman is holding down this site, not letting Texas A&M enter.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that if they hold the rest of this, which unfortunately they did contest, but Mossman on a 5-piece, 6-piece, also getting another cruise for this first game to start off there. These boys are looking hot today.
Yeah, they are on fire right now. Mossman, there's nothing A&M can do to bring this guy down. On fire right now. Verdi on a fast rotation, unable to really solidify that kill there onto Bimpy, but is able to chase him down. Melski, however, answering back with a kill onto Mossman and first access into this P4 for Texas A&M.
Yeah, Verdi being able to spot that somebody's close to him, and there needs one more kill. Verdi on another huge spree of 3 kills right now, as Mossman being able to clean that up. Now they just need a flood time. They only need 4 more seconds left as Shenandoah looks to secure this P4 hill, and that's map 1 for Shenandoah.
Yeah, SU doing a fantastic job getting these huge rotations onto this P2 and really being able to break that P2 point that A&M was trying to hold. In that first rotation through these points, A&M had first access to that P2, but Shenandoah was able to time it right and get their access points perfectly timed to really go into that point and take over. And after that, the rotations were just clean from all the members of SU.
Yeah, I mean, props to every single player being able to have those big moments, being able to get those kills when needed. I mean, Verdi, to mention, you know, 1 out of the 4 guys was going insane. Being able to get a cruise early on, being able to have, again, that in your back pocket for at least his first rotation, at least getting, you know, the big information on where everyone's rotating to, and being able to get a big kill, you know, on hill if there were any, and I'm pretty sure we did see that. Again, the breaks were beautiful. I mean, let's talk about that P2 break for a second. It's really hard to break through P2 if a team is set up properly, right? And maybe that goes, unfortunately, against Texas A&M's favor. Maybe they weren't set up properly, but at least from what I saw, it looked like they had at least 2 to 3 guys that were up at all times, being able to try and secure that. But, I mean, Mossman and Relic and Toxic being able to just use that utility, being able to have just that kind of, you know, coordination wherever those trophies are. I mean, again, it was just really good, and I felt like it was something that was spectacular. Like, again, Relic getting these 2 big picks to start it off, and then Mossman breaking. So beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, really, gunfights is kind of getting one across the board here for the side of SU. Verdi picking up 2 there in that replay. I mean, Verdi was playing out of his mind in this map number 1. Really, every member going positive, I believe, on the side of SU. Just the communication and the rotations, Mossman holding down this P3 later on in the round. Just not letting A&M come anywhere close to that point. Some contests coming here and there, but quickly cleaned up on the side of SU. 250 to 146 on map number 1 as we now transition over into Terminal for Search and Destroy.
Yeah, and this is going to be, again, the momentum we like to see, being able to have that kind of forward progression going into this Terminal Search. And again, this can be a really difficult map for a lot of teams, especially if maybe you're not shooting well that day, or if you're, again, not utilizing those smokes effectively, right? So being able to try and play around that and looking for those angles, looking for those picks, is really going to be the key for success for, you know, any one of these teams.
Yeah, and the thing I always like to touch on for Search and Destroy is that you can't respawn.
Yeah.
Right? In hardpoint and control, you will see people respawn left and right. You're only down for about 4 or 5 seconds here and there, and then you have to rotate back to the fights. But once you're dead in Search and Destroy, you're done for the rest of that round. So getting those early picks and that fast, aggressive play to come in your favor is something that both sides are going to look for. And with Shenandoah's momentum coming off of that map number 1, I'd expect them to really find these early picks and have a huge advantage moving on for the rest of that round.
Yeah, I mean, and Texas A&M, they really did a good job being able to break that P5. Like, again, something that they were able to do is play together. I mean, we saw that for a glimpse of a second. But unfortunately, Shenandoah just kept that ball rolling like I talked about. They were able to start off strong, and they ended strong too. And again, we have VOD being a massive player on this team, getting a 1.67 KD, 9 assists as well. And I mean, the rest of the squad is looking pretty even. We have Toxic with 10 massive assists. Again, it's not all about trying to get those kills. It's really what can you do and what kind of presence can you have in the space. And you know, that kind of stat in my head shows more than, you know, what other people really value.
Yeah, getting those chip damage onto the A&M members there, really setting up kills for Relic, VOD, and Mossman to really clean up the back of those fights. 10 assists is nothing to scoff at. That is huge in this hard point for SU. And really, I mean, what was VOD there? 25 and 15, I think it said? I think so. Something around that. But really dominant performance coming out from VOD there, and really every single member just firing on all cylinders, knowing what needs to be done, what rotations need to come into play, and really knowing where these gunfights need to be happening and the angles that they're trying to set up on these holds onto these points.
Right, and something that, you know, something that you just said is going to correlate perfectly well into Terminal. Being able to have those angles held, being able to, you know, have control of the map is super important, right? So if we get to a fly through at some point, we can kind of point out where these common angles are. I know for Terminal, for those who are familiar, one of the biggest angles that gets contested is that burger heady. So being able to have, again, early control of that, or even the old P1 or top escalator heady as well, where the plants are. That's also a really big one, but a lot of people don't really talk about the secret hold, which it's not a secret, but the location on the map, a lot of people call secret. So basically it's underneath the A site, underneath the plane. And here's where the attackers will spawn. And to our left is where the B bomb will be, and to our right inside of the plane is where A bomb will be. Of course, this, like you just mentioned, you only have one life, so try and play it the best you can. Sometimes you just unfortunately get caught off guard, or maybe you slide a little too far, or just the other person is just shooting a little bit better at that moment. But as we start to expand more into the map, right under this little, where those benches are in that corner, underneath that, that's what we call security. So you can actually see people crossing into the plane. You can see, and a lot of a common play that people do is also drop out of the windows to the right of where we just last saw, so they can get control of the underneath of the plane, the underbelly of that, right? And that's actually a lot of information if no one's even out there.
Yeah, if you're able to get these key information kind of points communicated to the rest of your team, it'll be huge. But right as we get started, Mossman trying to pick someone off there on the side there, but unable to get any pick. However, a pretty slow opening coming from both sides, kind of feeling out how we want to approach this match.
Right, and we see VOD being able to try and push more out towards this A-bomb as Melsky is able to get that pick on a Mossman. Relic really needs to stay alive here. Gets timinged, unfortunately, as Lotus is able to pick that up. Now we see a 2v4 situation. Toxic getting out with his life. And now we're just trying to play the numbers game here.
Yeah, VOD able to get that answer back, but Melsky is going to be able to get behind him there. A 1v3 situation now for Toxic, having to come up big, but not having access to that bomb just yet, or really not being able to get into that defensive position to defuse this bomb is going to be hard for Toxic to do.
And just like that, Toxic unfortunately goes down as Texas A&M gets that first round.
Yeah, Texas A&M getting those early picks, right? Getting those 2 kills right away off of the board. VOD trying to answer back. He is able to, but only able to get 1 in that instance. Really difficult opening there coming from the side of SU, but now we're going to swap back over, try to go again. We go first to 6 here, so down 0-1 is nothing too concerning for the side of SU.
Not at all. The only thing that I would really see that's concerning is Melsky. He already has, or they already have 3 kills and 3 more, and they are, you know, they have a cruise. So they really need to play that life, being able to figure out where that person is playing and try and get those picks. As we do see Grateful playing in plane, as another person is starting to come up towards the back, and though VOD's in the plane, but are they expecting this other guy flanking? Mossman needs to pick up on that, and they were able to get that massive second pick.
Yeah, the trade coming back is huge there for
Oh,
SU.
huge.
Relic able to get down Melski as well. Now with this bomb planted, unable to finish off those last kills. They're kind of grouped up there on that plane with that tight corridors. It's easy to spray through multiple members of a team there, and that's exactly what A&M is able to do.
Yeah, Lotus being able to play actually a very aggressive Chow, which I kind of liked, as you know, they were able to get that massive two-piece. But again, that's something that it's a high risk, high reward. So if he were to go down, I mean, again, they were to lose that round, but they were to pick up a massive two-piece as they're now going into this, round 3.
Yeah, this round 3 coming out now. The defensive side setting up for SU 2 to B, 2 to A. Texas A&M sending 3 towards this B site. Melski with the bomb, trying to gain access, but Lotus finding Mossman in the meantime. A huge early pick. Bimpy as well being able to find Relic. Trying to answer back onto Great Folks, but unable to do so just yet. Knows where he is, but just unable to get those angles as the rotation is already going to come through from the side of A&M. Really just going back to this B site and holding it down.
Yeah, Verdi on top of this AC, or top third as people like to call it, being able to get a massive pick here. But now we have Toxic also getting a massive pick, as there's only one person on this site, so they need to start really pushing the agenda here, as Toxic is now in a 1v2 situation. It's hard, but it's not impossible. I've seen Toxic do it once. Can he do it again?
Yeah, Toxic trying to get Bimpy there, but unable to get those final hits onto the A&M member with just 10 seconds left. He's going to have to go fast to try to get this defuse, but most likely will not be able to do anything about it. Now just searching for kills here, but instead will decide to retreat, the bomb going off, and A&M getting the 3rd round of Search and Destroy.
Yeah, I mean, Texas A&M really shifted gears going into the Search and Destroy. I mean, like I said, this map could go any way if everybody is playing well, if everyone's shooting straight. You know, it's really hard to try to even penetrate that defense. But especially for the side of Shenandoah, I mean, we're not starting too hot at the moment, but let's see if we can turn it around.
Yeah, now onto the attacking side. Relic with the bomb, the usual setup there for SU. Verdi finding shots onto Lotus. They're unable to bring him down. However, Melski as well getting shot at by Relic, but no trades happening, no kills happening in this game so far. Verdi will pop up trying to find Lotus again, but unable to do so. Mossman, however, is going to find Melski and possibly find another Toxic. Will answer with a flank. Great Flux will get Toxic in return. 3v2 situation now for SU, trying to get Lotus again. Verdi unable to find them just yet. They know where they are, but Lotus now going to just go onto that rotate. Relic now looking to plant the bomb here onto B site.
Yeah, Lotus really needs to play his life as they do get that pick. Shenandoah with their 1st round win. Hopefully we can use that as momentum going into this next round.
Yeah, those early picks coming through from SU really defined that round for them. And really, Verdi, knowing where Lotus is this entire time, really denying any peak angle that Lotus can try to get on to SU there. And really just a great all-around play there from the side of SU.
Right, as we do see Mossman on a 3 streak, on a streak of 3 kills. Hopefully he can play his life, try and play the best that he can, of course, as we look to see Texas A&M maybe get aggressive towards this ace side, as we do see Mossman being able to set up towards this AC, top AC, but the rest of these guys are getting ready to push through, as Toxic able to get one on a Melsky and is now just playing their life.
Yeah, Toxic able to get that pick there is huge for the side of SU. A 3v4 now situation in favor of SU here. Lotus, however, still has that bomb, kind of still posturing towards this A site, trying to make their way into that site, but really unable to do so. Rotations coming over to B now for SU. Lotus will go down in that exchange. Sorry, that was Toxic and Verdi instead. My mistake. Huge pickups there from Texas A&M, and really an answer back. Relic able to get that trade onto Great Folks. Right now, 2v2 situation. Mossman and Relic still alive. Bimpy and Lotus on the side of A&M.
Yeah, A&M is now just needing to post up in this A-bomb site, making sure that nobody gets through, as this is a pretty tough break for a lot of teams, but, Relic and Mossman being the duo that they are, I could see them getting this job done.
Yeah, Relic now coming to the back of this plane, possibly making their way up into this pit, not able to find Lotus, and really Bimpy finding that other kill on the other side there onto Mossman. Great approach coming up from SU, but A&M was just prepared for it.
Right, as Bimpy getting that massive pick, being able to secure this positive KD, as again that was a beautiful push. Unfortunately, Toxic wasn't able to turn around and pick that person up from the windows there. But like I said, that's a pretty common place where people like to either jump out of, maybe even hold. Sometimes people use that as an audio cue because of course the window shatters. So if people hear that, someone might be inclined to look towards that direction. But they played that great on the side of A&M, and A&M in a 4v1 as Toxic gets that first pick.
Toxic able to get that first pick. Birdie trying to make something happen as well. Picks up 2. A fast round number 6 there on the side of SU, just outright running and gunning there against Texas A&M. Huge first picks. This attacking side has been looking better and better now for SU.
Yeah, that second round definitely looked very promising for Shenandoah, as Texas A&M not really prepared for that really fast push. And I know, again, maybe I didn't even recognize it if they used a smoke or not, but they just kept moving forward, trying to get those trades where needed, and they secured that second round.
Yeah, 4-2 now in the favor of A&M on this search and destroy map. 1st to 6 again. Shenandoah looks promising in these last couple of rounds, able to get these early picks. Birdie going aggressive here, trying to set up, trying to find a pick. Relic as well, pushing forwards up these escalators, unable to pick up anything. Mossman will go down. Birdie's going to be able to answer back with 2, possibly 3. He will be able to. Birdie going huge. 2v1 situation now for Great Folks, trying to rotate back around, but SU has possession of this bomb, hold these angles, expecting Great Folks trying to come around this backside. Birdie will spot him out, however. Great Folks having to come up huge, but SU with the man advantage here. Surely this will go in their favor. Yeah,
Verdi just needs one more kill in order for a cruise to happen, and hopefully we can maybe see some baiting happen as Relic does die, but Verdi is able to realize where that person is. And yes, he does give up that bomb, which is totally fine, as Grateful is looking to try and just clear up the rest of this B site. Not really too sure of where he is able to spot him out and realizes that Grateful needs to plant. He does have 20 seconds, and Verdi has a beautiful rotation, able to spot him out. Are we able to get a kill, though? And Verdi gets the 6th kill, having a cruise going into this 8th round? 7th round? My math?
8th round, I think.
8th round?
Yeah, I think we're about to go into our 8th round there. That was round number 7 there. Verdi picking up all 4 members for SU there. A huge round coming from him, picking up 3 at those escalators. A huge defensive round from SU. Now swapping over back to that attack, which looked so strong 2 rounds ago.
Yeah, Verdi and I were playing a lot of ranked, a little earlier in the day. Definitely not right before this game. And we were just trying to test out what we could on Search and Destroy, and I think it's paying off, as he has a 2 KD right now.
Yeah, I mean, really, Verdi 8-4 now on this Search and Destroy. All 3 other members on SU having 4 kills of their own, 4-5. All of those members on SU, but really, the 6 kill streak. Texas A&M needs to do something to try to shut down Verdi, because right now he's going on a tear.
Yeah, Toxic being able to play a little bit more towards his A site, trying to just maybe base some utility, try and base some rotations as Toxic. Maybe he could be setting up for an A hit. Verdi and I believe Relic are starting to post up a little bit more aggressive, as Mossman does chow mid-haul, but goes down to Bimpy, as Lotus also gets Verdi there. Now we're in a 2v4 situation.
Yeah, Relic trying to get a trade back here onto Melski, but Melski just playing safe. Toxic able to get that pick onto Great Folks there. Great pickup there for the side of SU, and the rotation is now going to come through onto this A site. Relic kind of making his way towards over to Toxic, teaming up, staying as 2. Toxic trying to make something happen through the windows there, unable to get that finishing blow, but the plant is going to have to come through. Relic able to win that gunfight there. Huge win. Bimpy and Lotus are the only ones remaining. Traded back again. A 1v2 situation now here for Toxic. Has to try to get this bomb down somewhere, but might not be able to, as A is getting pinched.
Yeah, they just need 8 more seconds left, and we do see Bimpy already starting to climb up the slide, and everyone else just pinching as Lotus gets that pick. And now we are 5-3 in the series for the second map.
Yeah, Toxic able to get that plant down, but they recognize that the plant has to come through on the side of A&M, and they just rotate, push into that plane, and Toxic, not a whole lot you can do in that situation with the trades going heavily in A&M's favor in that round. Like you said, 5-3 now, match point for the side of A&M here on the Search and Destroy.
Right, this is going to be where we test that metal, right? Being able to figure out if these guys are able to lock it back in, being able to potentially regain and try and play more coordinated, because at this time it wasn't looking too coordinated. You know, I mean, again, Verdi being able to have massive 8 kills, but that can only go so far if you're not playing as a team, right? So trying to just play together, holding these angles, calling what we're holding, and we see A&M going fast.
Yeah, A&M pushing hard into this A site. The missile is going to come through from Verdi there. If he can pick up 1 or maybe 2, unable to pick up anyone in that exchange. Right now, the rotations are going to have to come back through to this A site. Toxic getting pushed out of that plane there, but the plant not coming down just yet. Toxic possibly finding an angle there, but Bimpy is going to find Relic on the flank. A 3v4 situation now for SU. They need to find an angle, try to find a pick here onto this plane. Toxic finding Bimpy there, able to answer back. Verdi as well, finding Lotus in the plane. Toxic with a huge flank opportunity here, flicks around, but Melski is able to seal the deal on that kill, but Verdi able to answer back. 2v1 situation. Great folks in a good position to hold this plane. If Shenandoah can get in there and get this flank, Mossman able to get that kill onto Great Folks, and the defuse is going to come through. SU coming up huge.
Yeah, Verdi really playing it big and smart there, as Toxic also being able to pick up on that. And again, that was just beautiful coordination from both of those guys, as Mossman being able to then support you know, Verdi as he was defusing. Yeah, again, just being able to have that cover is huge.
Yeah, now 5-4 now on the scoreboard here for this Search and Destroy. Shenandoah is going to have a strong defense coming through, or I think they're on attack now, actually, here for the side of SU, which has looked good in the past. Verdi coming up huge with those 4 kills earlier in this map number 2. Texas A&M trying to find an answer to shut down the momentum that SU might have there moving after that huge defensive round.
Well, Verdi is already in plane, just looking to try and get as much space as he can, as they are trying to wall bang it. And the plant is going down fast, but we do see Grateful on the pinch, I believe, or is playing towards the secret area. Hopefully they clear him out, as Relic is trying to just hold the flank, being able to secure that. And we see Toxic again being able to anchor, having this oversight as much as he can for now, but he needs to play his life, as Mossman is able to pick up 1.
Yeah, Verdi going down, but Mossman able to answer back, and really a 3v3 situation. 20 seconds left on the clock here. Do they see Lotus from behind? They do, but Toxic is able to trade back again against Bimpy there. A 2v1 situation. A 1v1 situation. Melski trying to get the defuse. The nade is coming in. Will he be able to get the kill with the nade? Not quite yet, but he's able to slide in there and get the kill, tying it up 5 apiece here. Match point for both sides.
Yeah, and that was a beautiful play by Toxic, being able to spot that out with the nade. I honestly thought it was going to get a little too close, but Toxic understands that timing, realized that they had enough time, figured out where their bomb was being planted, and was able to secure that last round.
Yeah, a huge round coming from SU. They're tied at 5 each. All members right now firing on all cylinders here for the side of SU. Verdi coming up huge, 10-6. Toxic as well coming back into that positive KD at 9-7. A defense now coming through from SU. But A&M kind of calling the challenge here onto this B site.
Right, and you see the side of Shenandoah just going aggressive again towards this B. It is really hard or Shenandoah being able to defend this B site, as we see Texas A&M pushing up, trying to get aggressive. Everyone getting low. Verdi, though, is just looking to get aggressive. Bimpy, though, is able to pick up Mossman, and now we're in a 3v4.
Yeah, the 3v4 situation now. Mossman dropping behind those bushes there. Verdi almost able to get Bimpy there, but unable to do so. Now working his way around back, unable to pick up the kill again. Texas A&M just barely escaping with their lives, but unable to get this bomb in position. This B-site hold is holding strong right now. Verdi turning around, might be able to look around. Relic finding one on the Lotus, finding two as well. Verdi answering back. 2v1 now for Grateful here, trying to bring it back for A&M, but doesn't have access to this bomb. Shenandoah, play the time. There's 20 seconds. Grateful has to come to you.
Yeah, and like you said, there's 20 seconds left, and Grateful also has a rival 9, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult to try and play those longer range engagements as Toxic able to pick that up, figure out where he's playing. 10 seconds left, not looking so great, and the comeback for Shenandoah going massive 2-0 in this series, as I thought it was going to be over.
Yeah, A&M really dropping the ball there. SU able to bring that one back huge. They were down 5-3 in this series, but able to win 3 in a row there, clutching this map number 2. And Verdi, my goodness, was on fire.
Yeah, Verdi is currently on all cylinders, as you said earlier, being able to just play perfectly. And again, I thought it was going to be a little bit more favored towards this Texas A&M side, but you know, realistically, props to Verdi. Toxic, though, being able to have a massive regain as he was able to finish out positive. Relic was able to get the necessary picks needed, as we were talking about earlier. Again, KD does mean one thing, but if you're able to get those picks where you can, you know, you could just see those deaths as bait.
Right, yeah, and with those deaths comes communication, right, between the team. You know where they're going to rotate, and the picks and the trades came back for SU, Mossman and Verdi, Toxic alike. Everyone really finding these trades back and forth towards the end of that map number 2. Now going into map number 3 with a 2-0 series lead over A&M. Karachi Control. This is something that we've seen from SU before on Control, being able to really ride momentum from their first 2 maps, able to come in and roll on a Control map.
Yeah, for me at least, I feel like this Control is going to be kind of swinging both ways, depending on just who wants it more.
Yep.
I mean, you know, I feel like if you're on the side of Texas A&M, you're actually going into this pretty confident. You know, you did lose pretty convincingly, you know, in that first map, but then you were able to really take it the distance on that Search and Destroy, and that's something where if you can use that as momentum, you know, you can really look to see some good progression.
Yeah, A&M in that map number 2 really gave SU a run for their money, had that match point ready and were waiting for them, but SU just able to clutch up there towards the end. Verdi and Toxic, everyone on the side of SU picking up crucial kills here in these firefights, in these gunfights, and the exchanges coming through just in favor of SU towards the end of that map number 2. But I mean, from what we just saw, this Control, like you said, can really go back and forth. We have no idea how this will really end up with the level of play that A&M came out with here in map number 2, and really being able to shut down SU at the beginning of that map.
Right. I mean, trying to figure out how to play this Control is just going to be so difficult. I mean, you have to realize, like, it's all really about the spawn traps at times, which I know that Shenandoah loves to do. I'm not really too sure how Texas A&M likes to play it, but you know, teams that go for those early spawn trap kills tend to be in a very advantageous position, as even if they do die off of those respawn, you know, power positions, you're still up in lives.
Yep.
So if you're up in lives like that, I mean, you know, it's really tough to kind of get any forward momentum or really try to, you know, push a site if you have, you know, 5 lives left compared to their like 20 or like 15, right? So Karachi, the only nice thing about that though, which I could see happening, is, for example, let's say one team is low on lives and they're hitting B and they're able to successfully break that. Again, really difficult to try and break through if everybody on their team is looking in the right direction and stacking. Because once you know, if you stack, the ticks get completed faster.
Yep.
So the idea on that B site is you want to just stack where you can and just play for it, right? So.
Yeah, Verdi here, we see the scoreboard going 12-6 here on that Search and Destroy.
Jesus.
In that map number 1 as well on Skid Row. Verdi, I believe, going 25-15 there as well, having one crazy night for himself here. The momentum that SU has coming off of that map number 2, the adrenaline that they have right now after Toxic clutching that defuse there towards the end, I'd expect this kind of to start to pick up a little bit. The pace is probably going to go a lot faster here on this control, just being the nature of that kind of game mode, right? You have those respawns, unlike in Search and Destroy. And it's going to be interesting to see if Verdi can continue that momentum that he brought into that map number 2 and really run away with this control map.
Right, and on this side of the map for control, on this map, this is where the attacker side will be spawning towards this, again, this side here, towards this cafe side. We are going to see the defending team spawn on the opposite side, so towards that like back church area, for those who are familiar. And it's basically going to be a bloodbath going into this. Again, a lot of teams like to start off going A on attack because you get there first, but it's really about the trades, what kind of angles you're able to hold initially. But I wouldn't be too surprised if, you know, we see some teams go B today off rip.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see kind of what happens there. The momentum, of course, in favor of SU after that map 2 clutch, but A&M playing such a close search and destroy against SU here. If they are able to win these gunfights early, it'll be huge for the side of A&M to really get these first access points here and really have a strong attacking round for A&M.
Right, and we already see A&M picking up that first pick onto A as Toxic is able to get that pick. Now we're starting to see the side of Shenandoah just collapse on this A site as, you know, Relic gets a massive 2-piece. Verdi also gets that 2-piece, and now we see Verdi wanting to get these kills.
Yeah, the rush coming on to A from A&M there, but Shenandoah able to counter-attack and regain control over that site fairly quickly. Toxic on the flank, they're able to get Grateful there down. Relic as well, finding Melski. But really, the access and the denial that SU is putting onto A&M, just they aren't able to get onto that A site. Mossman picking up Lotus as he is trying to retreat from that angle that he had set up. Relic as well, picking up 2 onto Melski, possibly getting a 3rd, unable to. Lotus able to take him down, but Mossman is able to even up that trade with 2 of his own there onto Bimpy, onto Melski. Lotus as well, though, however, answering back onto Mossman. Verdi sliding down, unable to win the gunfight there against Grateful, and A&M kind of fighting back for this A-point control.
Yeah, Toxic looking to just hold this yard aside, trying to keep control, but we do see A&M did get that second tick as they only have 30 seconds left to try and get this last tick onto A site or potentially even rotate towards that B site as well. But they already looked to control that A site, and now they got a little bit more time in their hands to play and break towards this B side.
Yeah, Toxic able to pick up 2 there on the back of that A cap. Now rotating towards this B site, but we can look Melski having the flank. They're able to pick it up onto Relic, getting that access there onto that B site. The gunfight won there. Relic not really expecting Melski to be in that position, but Relic and Verdi are going to answer back. Lotus and Bimpy are going to drop, now trying to get access onto this B site. Both the pinch coming through. Relic able to pick up the kill there onto Melski and prevent any further ticks from falling onto that B site.
Yeah, Lotus getting a massive pick there as Melski and Grateful also pick up 3. And this is the thing I was talking about on B. Now it's going to be really tough for the side of Shenandoah to do anything. Shenandoah played that really well, being able to play their lives. But again, they're just stacking, have trophies set up, and they're just holding it down. This was a crumble on the side of Shenandoah as Texas A&M pick up that first round.
Yeah, A&M towards the end winning those gunfights, picking up that 3, like you said, is huge for the side of A&M. All 4 members sitting in that B site. Really hard to re-enter, especially like you said, when you have those trophies down. SU trying to get back in there, but with the angles being held beautifully by A&M, are able to take away with the first round there. 1-0 lead now for A&M. Shenandoah, however, now swapping over to the attacking side.
Yeah, Melski really had probably the biggest play of that entire round. Although, again, we had that lives advantage. Being able to slip through the cracks was able to allow the side of A&M to really advance. And we see that Shenandoah wants to try and push towards this blue side as Verdi gets a massive 2-piece, and Toxic does get killed by Melski, and Verdi is looking for these spawn kills as we do see Relic playing on this time by himself.
Yeah, Relic sitting over towards that B site, now getting contested, kind of sitting back in this back room, getting cornered now by A&M. Grateful, able to take out Relic. Lotus finding Mossman in the meantime. Verdi trying to find trades back, but unable to do so right now. Grateful getting lit up by Verdi there, but does not fall. Toxic, however, is found by Lotus on the hunt here. Now for A&M, 6-3 on Lotus's scoreboard. Grateful finding Verdi as well. Bimpy finding Relic. The trades are not coming through for the side of SU. As I say that, Mossman and Toxic are going to find two back in favor of SU, trying to regain access and possibly go towards this A site, trying to win these gunfights. If they can get a pick here onto Melsky, or they might be able to do something with it, but are unable to get anything off the back of that nade. But Toxic able to get Bimpy, but Bimpy in the meantime also trades that back onto Mossman, but Verdi answering back. Melsky will die. Relic now on this site, trying to get this first tick in favor of SU.
Yeah, Relic gets that first tick, as you talked about, and Toxic just overlooking the A site. Sorry, as Mossman now, I believe we're trying to stack it, though. Toxic is able to get those trades, those picks where needed, and Relic goes down on that site. But now we see Toxic looking aggressive as always, trying to just get in this site and get as many points in time stopped as possible. Verdi and Mossman getting those picks needed, and Verdi comes up with a big kill. Relic also being able to get that as Shenandoah secures that A site.
Yeah, SU able to get that A site, trading going heavily in favor on the side of SU. Relic able to get Bimpy out of the window there. And now the rotation is coming through to this B site. Grateful is going to be picked off in the rotation. SU should have first access here onto the backside of this B site. Bimpy making his way around is going to meet Toxic here shortly. Toxic able to win the gunfight. Mossman able to get Melsky as well, but Grateful able to pick up Toxic on that backside as well. And Texas A&M again in control of this B site. Going to be so hard to enter on the side of SU. Relic trying to make something happen, finds one, but Lotus is able to answer back. Verdi finding Lotus in the meantime. Trades back and forth, but no access yet to this B site for SU.
Yeah, Toxic realizes that there's somebody in this vending area, as Melsky able to pick that up and Toxic able to trade it. And now we're seeing Toxic go massive, getting that that next pick on a Bimpy, but Grateful gets the trade onto Toxic. Mossman needs to just play his life. Does go down, though, by Grateful, and Relic gets that trade. Lotus, though, also gets the trade onto Relic. A lot of trades happening, and only 20 seconds of time left.
Yeah, Toxic able to get Bimpy there, but Lotus able to answer back, trying to get access to this point, but they aren't able to really get there. Now, Relic trying to find something on the backside. Lotus finding him in the meantime, trying to get onto this site, getting contested now. The timer has stopped. Grateful able to find Toxic. Mossman needs to stay alive in this situation, possibly find Bimpy on this backside. Goes aggressive, but is unable to win the gunfight. Verdi, however, will come in to save the day for SU. The timer still stopped. Access for SU. The first tick is going to come through, and now SU getting this trophy down for Verdi is going to be huge. Able to find Lotus on this backside, possibly able to get the kill. Will be able to. A huge last push there for SU to tie up map number 3.
You guys are going to give me a heart attack. Speaking of heart attack, happy Valentine's Day to anyone watching. But man, oh man, my emotions are being played with as we are even in this control game. And now Shenandoah is looking to have a better defensive hold here.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Mossman take that challenge against Bimpy into that corner of that B site, loses it, but Verdi is there to get the counter kill, getting that trade coming in clutch for SU. They're able to stop the timer from running down any further. Defensive side now set up for SU to go to A, to go to B. Grateful trying to find a pick here onto Relic, will be able to, and now access onto this A site is going to be gained, but trades again coming back and forth. Verdi almost finding Lotus on that power position that he has up on that roof, but unable to get any kills on either side.
And Toxic is able to get one on that site, but is getting traded, and Verdi getting that pick, but then goes down to Lotus, as Relic does have the disadvantage, as we do see Lotus having that high ground that is also common to have. And we do see the side of A&M also hitting this B side out. And although Shenandoah is able to clear out A, you guys got to start looking towards this B side.
Yeah, we see Grateful sitting on this B site, are pushed out of the A position. Now Shenandoah going on a journey here. Relic trying to find this flank onto Melsky, but the setup has already come through onto this B site. This is what they did in the first round of this map. Relic trying to find an angle in here, trying to be sneaky, coming in through the back door here, trying to find something. We're able to pick up Bimpy in the meantime. The reload's going to come through, but not fast enough. Grateful able to drop Relic in the meantime. Mossman finding getting an answer as well, possibly finding two, unable to do so. Lotus winning that gunfight on that B site as it will be capped, and now Trophy coming down for Verdi in this power position, trying to make sure that Texas A&M cannot have access to this A site.
Right, this is going to be a little bit more difficult for A&M to get control of, as Verdi is already, I spoke a little too soon. Verdi does go down to Melsky, and Mossman needs to try and break through. As now it is going to be a little bit tougher to try and break through, though. Mossman getting aggressive, trying to get this guy off the time. Beautiful, but grateful, getting that trade in. Toxic getting a pick, as Bimpy also gets traded. Verdi with the massive cruise, being able to help out that time, but he's the only one that's up at the moment that's remotely close to this time. Well, outside of now Mossman.
Yeah, trying to get back in position. A&M is not on this A site, though. Mossman able to pick up Bimpy, traded back. Toxic going down. Relic able to get Grateful in the meantime as well. Bimpy on the respawn, able to get Relic out of that rotation. Lotus going aggressive onto Verdi. They're able to pick up the pistol kill on the side of A&M, and now control has been regained by A&M onto this A site. Bimpy sitting there in the middle there. If Shenandoah is able to get these power positions back under their control, they might be able to find something, but the trades are just going positive right now for the side of A&M.
Yeah, and Relic really needing to try and stay alive here, as they potentially have one last hit, and they have also the lesser amount of lives. Mossman is not able to get that second kill, though. Relic trying to jump out of fire. It does die, and Toxic able to get that last kill. Now just trying to get this guy off the time, as it's a 2v1 situation, and Shenandoah looks to clear it up, and thankfully not get that last tick.
Yeah, Verdi dropping the trophy there on site. Two members of SU sitting on that A site. Verdi and Toxic trying to stay alive. Lotus, however, kind of getting behind them here, possibly getting a flank. Melsky as well. Relic able to get Bimpy, but Bimpy will answer back. A trade back and forth. 2 lives remaining now for the side of SU. 1 left remaining. It's all up to Mossman to try to make something happen. 6 lives on the side of A&M, but the control over this A site is too much for Mossman right now. Able to pick up 1, but the cap will come through, and A&M will take the lead 2-1.
Yeah, that was a very valiant effort from Mossman, trying to get those kills where he could, but you know, another good play that could have happened there was to honestly go and die. And that's not to say, you know, oh, just to give up, but that's actually to also help prevent the tick capture, right? So that's another aspect, is if Shenandoah is able to get that next round, right, it then is based off of the ticks, the amount of ticks that are captured overall before that 5th round of play. So that would have been another strategy to potentially have implemented, but we do see Shenandoah looking to try and make an effort to cap this A side. Yeah,
back onto this attacking side. A&M is going to exit 3 through that B site there. Possibly Toxic able to pick up a kill there. Relic and Verdi, however, are going to pick up 2 of their own. Lotus will answer back. Relic will drop, but Verdi able to answer back as well. Shenandoah winning these gunfights so far. The A control is heavily in SU's favor. Mossman, however, will fall. Verdi and Toxic going down to Grateful and Lotus. Relic, however, on the respawn, coming back, able to regain control of this A site. The final tick getting close, however, getting contested. Bimpy is on the site, able to force them off. The tick coming now back in favor of SU. Verdi able to get these kills. Toxic picking up 2. Grateful will answer back, but Verdi is denying any access A&M could possibly have to stop that capture from coming through.
Yeah, that was a wonderful play off of Verdi, being able to just stay alive there, get those picks as Mossman able to get a massive 2 pieces. Toxic does go down, though, and now Verdi maybe looking to try and get some spawn kills, and this is kind of what we were talking about earlier, trying to just play for these spawn kills. Now we see him set up, trying to just stay alive, but unfortunately Relic does go down as they're starting to break through. Verdi, though, not really able to help out the initiative here on this B site, as Toxic looking to try and just cap where he can, but also hold his backside, as Toxic able to get 1, able to get 2, no, maybe ran under bullets, as Lotus able to get that pick, and Relic gets that massive trade.
Yeah, Relic able to get in there, getting that trade back. Mossman as well, finding one of his own. Really, the hold here, the trophy coming down here, it's going to be hard for A&M to get into the position. This is kind of what A&M did on their 2 attack rounds. Preventing Shenandoah from getting into this access point is going to be huge. Lotus, however, finding 2. Verdi answering back, staying alive. Relic still on this point. The capture coming through here very shortly. Contest coming through, however, they will go down A&M now back in control of this B capture. Mossman
Moss.
finding one, Melski finding Toxic. In the meantime, it's all up to this last kind of fight here. If they can break this control that A&M has on this site, they might be able to do something. Relic and Moss finding two, Verdi also finding Melski. In the meantime, no one on A&M is on this site, and the point will go in favor of SU 2-2 now.
And that was a well-done round by Shenandoah, being able to just recompose and try and just hit stuff together. As again, Toxic being able to pick up this final kill, as he's currently going 27 and 26. So there's a lot of engagements coming from him, and rightfully so. He's doing phenomenal.
Yeah, this B site has been really up in the air all map number 3 here. Both sides having good defenses, but both sides also able to break that point, able to get in there and force the other team off of that site. And really, Shenandoah on this defensive side now, or the attacking side rather, it's going to be huge to see if they can pull it off again.
Yeah, and I mean, everyone on the side of Shenandoah is looking really solid, being able to have a nice positive KD, and we do see that Lotus and Grateful on the Texas A&M team are also doing what they can to try and keep this team alive, as Verdi is getting contested out and does go down, unfortunately. And this is going to be really hard on the side of, if you're offense side. But Toxic being able to try and just play this life, that's a massive pick there. Now we can potentially pinch and have some people flood this A site.
Yeah, Toxic getting that bill onto Bimpy, allowing Relic to get aggressive, getting Lotus there on that backside. Toxic possibly able to find Bimpy again, will be able to almost whiffs the shots, but Lotus is there to get the kill back. Toxic falling, but control still in favor of SU here. Relic on the site. Trophy not down, but oh yes, there is a trophy down onto this A site. Relic trying to stay alive. Mossman finding two of his own, traded back by Bimpy. Verdi, however, getting the frag onto his teammate. Toxic going down, but Verdi and Relic answer back. The control is still in favor of SU, and this A site will be captured quite quickly.
Right, and Texas A&M being able to even out the lives, just one life differential, as Toxic able to play towards this new site, is able to slam Bimpy. Now just trying to play his life. Relic, though, needs to realize that there's somebody behind him. Unfortunately, not as Toxic able to get that trade. Toxic now needs to just stay alive in time, as Verdi getting that pick on the Mel Sky. There's only one more person left, and this is the thing I was talking about. It's going to be really hard for the side of Texas A&M to really push through. If Verdi does have that trophy and he throws it down now, it's going to be really hard for them to get any forward progression, as Verdi able to get one, gets two, now needs to focus on two more players.
Yeah, Shenandoah has the perfect defense coming through, will be able to cap that point, and SU winning map number 3 for a 3-0 series there in favor of Shenandoah.
And again, like I talked about, this control is so hard to really figure out who's going to be dominant. Again, if you're able to get this kind of angle, this kind of control, Verdi has that trophy set up and just has so much. Relic, will you be my Valentine? Relic, what do you say? Are you Moss's Valentine?
A nod coming through from Relic there. We love the lovers duo there. Moss and Relic having a great showing there on that map number 3, and really a back and forth affair throughout. Those last two maps on the side of A&M were super, super strong, but SU just able to squeak by, win the gunfights that really, really mattered towards the end there, and SU is able to squeak by with a 3-0.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is, I believe, coming out February 29th, also, as a Mossman mentions. Thank you for that information, that little tidbit. But again, I mean, I want to talk about a star player for today, and that person is none other than Verdi.
Yeah, Verdi, absolutely unreal. All 3 maps putting SU on his back. Just phenomenal gameplay. He was online from the very first second of this series, and really A&M couldn't really find an answer. They couldn't find the answer to Verdi, and really he recognized that and was able to just keep rolling, and as a result of that, everyone on the side of Shenandoah was elevated. Relic, Mossman, Toxic, as the series progressed, just got better and better, matching Verdi's pace.
Right, and I love the actual switch here on this Karachi, because again, as we've talked about in the past, Toxic loves that submachine on this map, and Toxic was able to do some nasty things just like that there. And actually towards the end of this series, again, being able to really fly around the map, being able to get those picks and trades when needed. But Birdie, again, being able to have a massive clutch here just to save that round, that was awesome. And Verdi really, again, playing to his strengths.
Yeah, indeed. And the team play there in those last 2 maps, they were extremely, extremely close, but the communication just seemed to be on point. The rotations were coming through when they needed to be. One person going down, the trade was almost 100% coming through from Mossman, Verdi, Relic, Toxic, everyone finding the trades that they needed to, and really just kind of running away with this game, getting these power positions in place, able to capture that A site, and then just able to force their way into this B site. As you can see right now, the tick coming through there for SU in that replay, and really just an unstoppable force towards the end of this series.
Yeah, these last 2 rounds for Shenandoah was just spot on, being able to try and, again, play those lives. Relic, again, this massive trade was, or massive pick was huge. But again, we really just see the firepower of Shenandoah, and you know, they're a tough team to in this NACE League.
Yeah, I mean, A&M did not play bad whatsoever. I'm really those last 2 maps there could have gone either way. It was just the gunfights coming through, winning the huge clutch on that search and destroy by Toxic, and Verdi really just kind of running away with that game. They're 34 and 23 for Verdi. Everyone getting just about a positive KD there. Relic 26 and 27, but 12 assists on his side as well. Everyone putting up huge numbers for SU.
Right, and again, like I said, it was fairly even throughout the whole board. I mean, everyone had their impact, especially, you know, throughout the entire series, right? I mean, again, that star player being Verdi, just being able to really control and dominate this entire series. But let's not forget Mossman, Relic, and Toxic being able to also have some really massive plays when needed. Like, again, Toxic really controlled that Karachi control, you know, for the most part, being able to rotate early, being able to get those early picks. Yes, going down is unfortunate, but that really opens up what the rest of your team can do. And Terminal Search, again, Verdi played that beautifully, but we also had a Toxic really being able to step up to the plate. And then let's talk about Skid Row, where we first started off today. That Skid Row was beautiful and well played by Texas A&M, but again, we had guys like Relic frying as well. We also had guys like Mossman really being able to get the job done, being able to have control of those sites. And, you know, when it all came down to it, Shenandoah was just a better team today. Yeah,
on that hard point as well, on that P2 control, they often didn't have that first access to that point. They were able to break that P2 and really just hold it on their own and really just start racking up ticks there in favor of SU. But once that came through, Texas A&M matched that pace. Map 2 and Map 3 were extremely close. One round affairs there, 6-5 and 3-2 in favor of Shenandoah. But, I mean, we don't want to discount what A&M did there, right? They played a very, very strong game, and it's really exciting to see this kind of group come into their own and really start playing very aggressive and very fast Call of Duty.
Very aggressive and very fast. You heard it here first from Ben Kincaid, as we're looking to get an interview here soon with Verdi. Don't go anywhere.
In a great position to answer back. Gets 2 of his own. A great third control is heavily in favor of Texas A&M right now. Mossman finding one, able to reach Texas A&M, opting to now rotate over to this P3 side, but Verdi picking up this P4 site for SU.
Yeah, Verdi being able to get a 2 big
rotation already coming through from SU onto this P3. Verdi finally able to move into this area. Mossman finding one, finding 2, possibly 3.
This first game to start off there, these boys are looking hot today.
Yeah, they are on fire right now.
Spot that somebody's close to him, and there's one more kill. Verdi on another base, and you know that kind of stat in my head shows more than guy flanking. Mossman needs to pick up on that, and they were able to get that.
Exactly what A&M is able to do.
Yeah, Lotus being able to play Verdi on top of this easy, or top of the, as we call it, being able to get a massive pick. Yeah, Lotus is top AC, but the rest of these guys are getting ready to push through the top.
Pickups there from Texas A&M, and really an answer back from Relic playing, possibly making their way up into the
A&M in a yeah, they played that great side of A&M in a yeah, it's
Toxic able to get that first pick. Birdie trying to make something happen as well. Wow. Pushing forwards up these escalators, unable to pick up anything. Mossman will go down. Birdie's going to be able to answer back with 2, possibly 3. He will be able to. Birdie going huge. Trade back here onto Melski, but Melski just playing safe. Toxic unable to get that finishing blow, but the plane is going to have to come through. Relic able to win that down somewhere, but might not be able to as A is getting pinched.
Yeah, they just need 8 more seconds left, and we do see Vimpy already starting to climb up the slide, and everyone else just finishing as Lotus gets that pick. And now we are 5-3 in the series for the second half.
Yeah, Toxic.
Welcome back to the Shenandoah stream. Again, we have an interview with Verdi. Verdi, let's talk about the whole day-to-day, right? What did you do before going into this series?
Personally, I was just like listening to music, vibing, trying to lock in mentally, and then with the team, we were just warming up together, shooting bots, getting a scrim in, and yeah, it was good. I
mean, good indeed, as you were flying the entire way through each and every map, being able to be that star player on that team. Now, talk me through Search and Destroy. You guys were down, I believe, 4-1 or 4-2, right? What did you guys do in that moment trying to regain? What did you guys try and do?
I think at the start of that 4-1 rounds, we just had a little pep talk to each other. You know, we gotta bring it back. We're a little down mentally. You know, it was a tough game. But I think we brought it back good. We kept each other's mental high, and we brought it back. So
I mean, yeah, you were able to really fry when needed, and Toxic, again, having a huge impact in that series as well, being able to come back, regain, and get that positive KD ratio. Now, we're going to talk about, of course, that Karachi control. You guys were down 2-1 in that series. What did you guys plan on doing? Were you guys planning on really playing for kills, getting control of that map space, or were you just trying to force that time whenever you could?
Yeah, so game plan going into control was mainly focusing on map control, and then secondary objective. Obviously, capturing the points is a huge part. And shout out my teammates because they did a huge job playing objective. I know I was playing a little bit for kills, but
a little bit. A little bit.
But I think my teammates held it down on point, and we managed to push the time really well.
Again, shout out again to the rest of the Shenandoah squad, as you guys were able to help this guy perform on his best A game that I've ever seen so far. But hopefully that can continue throughout the rest of this series. But I have one final question. I told Stream this that it's Valentine's Day. I didn't really get to ask you in person today, but I think this might be the best time. Verdi, will you be my Valentine?
Absolutely, man.
Thank you so much. It's been an awesome Shenandoah stream from yours truly, Vitaly Rivera and Ben Kincaid. Thank you, Verdi, so much for the interview. Have a wonderful, fantastic Valentine's Day. Peace out.
Dude, possibly making their way up into the Toxic able to get that first pick. Birdie trying to make something happen as well. Pushing forwards up these escalators, unable to pick up anything. Mossman will go down. Birdie's going to be able to answer back with 2, possibly 3. He will be able to. Birdie going huge. Back here onto Melski, but Melski just playing safe. Toxic unable to get that finishing blow, but the plane is going to have to come through. Relic able to win that down somewhere, but might not be able to as A is getting pinched.
Yeah, they need 8 more seconds left. We do see Vimpy already starting to climb up the slide, and everyone else is finishing as Lotus gets that pick. And now we are 5-3 in the series for the second match.
Yeah, Toxic able to get that. We need to find an angle, try to find